Are you ready to unlock growth, build resilience, and confidently take the next step in leadership, career, and faith? Welcome to The Next Move. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, a CEO, author, and leader with a passion for helping people and organizations thrive. My journey from foster care to CEO has fueled my mission to help professionals scale their confidence, leadership, and influence through mindset shifts, expanded networks, and bold action. Each week, I'll share reflections ripped straight from my blog to inspire and empower you with actionable insights. Let's get started and make your next move your best move. Welcome, everybody, to the very first episode of the Next Move podcast. Over the last month, I have been having conversations with motivated professionals who feel stuck or unoptimized. These discussions have been incredibly profound for me as a leader, and they've left me reflecting on the ultimate leader, Christ, and the example he set for us. This week's reflection is titled, Love is Leadership's Greatest Strength. In it, I explore how love rooted in God's nature can shape the way we lead, especially when facing tough decisions or moments that require clarity and compassion. Let's dive in. We all know there are many leadership styles. One that came up repeatedly in my conversations was servant leadership, a style I often profess and practice. But how often do we stop to reflect on where it comes from? For me, servant leadership isn't just a buzzword. It's about leading the way God would lead. It's about stepping off the throne and striving to reflect God's character in how we serve others. One of the scriptures that has profoundly shaped my view on leadership is 1 John verses 4, 7 through 8. Beloved, let us love one another because love is God. Everyone who loves is begotten by God and knows God. Whoever is without love does not know God, for God is love. I've heard this scripture countless times, but it wasn't until my time in theology school that it truly settled in my spirit. God is love. What a profound thought. When you really sit with that, when you let it sink in, it changes how you see your role as a leader. If we are striving to grow and reflect more of God's character, then we ought to strive to embody love in our leadership. Leading with love isn't soft leadership. It doesn't mean avoiding tough decisions or shying away from responsibility. It means making decisions that are ethical, compassionate, and grounded in how we believe God would act. Over the years, I've worked to lead with compassion and empathy. And here's what I've learned. Leading with love doesn't mean avoiding tough calls. It means making them with care and respect. Compassionate leadership doesn't mean ignoring underperformance. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is help someone move on from a role where they aren't thriving. And finally, compassion requires action driven by heart for others, not personal gain or impulse. I've had moments in my career where making personnel decisions felt heavy. But through prayer, reflection, and wise counsel, I realized that sometimes releasing someone from a position is the best thing for their growth. Done with love, these decisions can serve as a catalyst for renewed purpose and direction. When John wrote his message, the early church was grappling with confusion and division. His words were a call for clarity and compassion. If you want to know God, you must know love. This call isn't just for the church. It's a guide for leaders today, whether we're leading teams, whether we're leading organizations or communities. Every organization I've worked with has had compassion at its core. But compassion doesn't mean weakness. Compassion means addressing challenges head on, but doing so with the right heart. It means balancing accountability with empathy, seeing people as more than just roles, and making tough decisions in love. As leaders, we're not called to be perfect, but we are called to lead well. If we believe that God is love, then our leadership should reflect that belief. This week, I challenge you to reflect on how love shows up in your leadership. Are there areas where you've avoided hard conversations because you mistook compassion for inaction? Are there moments when you could extend grace but chose not to? Let's strive to be leaders who embody love, not just in words, but in action. At the end of the day, the best leaders aren't those who wield power, but those who serve with love. Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I love to hear your thoughts. How do you see love influencing your leadership? What challenges have you faced in leading with compassion and strength? Drop your comments in below or DM me. I love to continue the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I hope today's reflection inspired you to take the next step in your leadership, career, or faith journey. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like more reflections or resources, visit orvinkimbrough.com or theaccidentalbanker.com. Until next time, remember, every step you take brings you closer to thriving. Let's keep moving forward together.